Hey everyone. I'm here today to share an urgent awareness that I had today, and my personal experience as to what I've been experiencing recently more than ever before. And the truth is, we are in a spiritual battle, and the battle is intensifying internally and externally. And I think it's important for us to be vigilant and aware and conscious of what's happening so that we have free will choice. So um, I'll just start off with my personal experience because I'm not making this up, okay? And if you are noticing any shifts or awarenesses in your life where there's an increase in negativity, then this may resonate, okay? So I've been experiencing a lot of attacks from lower demonic forces, antichrist forces, and forces of evil. Okay. And they are um, coming through in very deceptive ways and attacking through, very subtle ways in the unconscious. So it could be, um, you know, victimhood, it could be shadow, it could be wounds that one has from one's childhood, it could be mindset. It comes through the mental, right? It comes through finance, it comes through relationships, and these forces are increasing. It has been a very noticeable increase of attacks psychologically. I mean, as soon as I get up in the morning, I'm feeling it. And all throughout the day, okay? And the call is right now for us to become really aware of what's really truly happening on the inside, right? The thoughts that we think, are they coming from the higher self? Are they coming from the self, right? Are they coming from love? Or are they coming from hate? The thought forms and the attacks sometimes come through blaming others. Watch out for that victim, man. Watch out for that victim consciousness, blaming, right? Self-hate, um, thoughts that are not empowering or loving or kind, right? Not originating from the God self. Okay. So what are they seeking? They're seeking to destroy the soul and the connection to the divine. I noticed that there was an increase in rebellion in my unconscious, and I was asking myself, like, what is this? Why is there such an increase in rebellion towards the Creator? Rebellion comes through very subtle ways and can come through um, just a lack of desire for God, right? A lack of inclusion of the Creator. There are many manifestations of rebellion. That will be a whole different conversation for that. But, I noticed that in myself because I am working on my relationship with the Creator. And so I notice when I'm like, something's off here. I'm not really seeking God. I don't even care about asking Him for guidance. When that happens, I know that something in my unconscious is driving my decisions without my conscious informed consent. So it works in the shadows, it works in the unconscious, and it's seeking to destroy the connection to the divine, right? Through forgetfulness of who we are, and also by disconnecting us to our truth, right? So it is working in the unconscious against the will, okay? It is attacking the will, all right? The will to live for people who have suicidal thoughts, the will to see potential possibilities, the will, it's attacking the will, all right? And I'm sharing this because I was experiencing this, right? It could come from in the form of apathy or a lack of desire or motivation. All of a sudden, you're feeling these feelings that are not even yours, all right? So the spiritual battle may manifest differently for everyone. I'm just sharing with you mine, right? But your stuff may be different, right? Everyone may experience this differently in their lives. Um, So anyway, today, you know, luckily I'm grateful for the Creator for prayer, because prayer has been a very big part of my ability to even cope right now and handle these right attacks. And also shadow work. Shadow work is crucial because this is looking at where are the blind spots, what in me is causing me to drop in consciousness. So here's the thing: I can pray all the time, right? But what I've realized is that when when there's something in me that is not operating from the higher self consciousness or God's consciousness or the truth of the higher self, then that is a dip in consciousness. That is not operating from truth, right? So if there's something in my unconscious that's running, then I have to address that. I have to address it. It's usually a wounded part of self or something that is not grounded in truth in the subconscious or unconscious mind. Doing shadow work helps to unveil this so that one has free will choice and one can choose differently. So prayer is one battlefield weapon, right? Truth is another battlefield weapon, because when the forces of the self like to enter the mind, they plant deceptive thoughts and falsehood in your mind. And it requires being fully present and aware and watching oneself and your mind and your feelings and your emotions constantly, so that you can decide, hey, that's not my truth, and can say no to that thing and rebuke it, right? So prayer is a battlefield weapon. Self-awareness is a battlefield weapon, being present, right? Truth. uh, Calling upon the Creator is a battlefield weapon, right? Archangel Michael and the prayer of the Creator, right? Prayers, I have prayers that I use. You can, whatever protection prayers you have, I use the Our Father, the Hail Mary, and other prayers that I have that I've been taught. And I can leave a link here in the comment to one that's very powerful. Okay. And another battlefield weapon, as I said, is shadow work, right? These are forces that are working in the unconscious, but today they were on my case, right? And the Creator guided me to pray. Okay, when I prayed, I noticed an intervention. I felt a complete shift. Like I didn't feel so heavy. And that's how I knew. I was like, oh, something happened. The Creator like cleared that thing, and I was so grateful. I was just celebrating the Creator's victory online because I was so grateful to feel a relief. Okay. The Creator came in and like wiped that thing out, or he removed it, or he sent it out. I don't know where he sent it, but I was not feeling that heavy vibe. I was feeling the joy. I was feeling the happiness. And I was so grateful to glorify God for that. So prayer is a powerful weapon, but also, um, really truly looking at one's relationship with the Creator. Now, here is the cream of the creme of this, okay? Because this is the piece that like got me to do this video, y'all. All right, I'm on here because I was like, now I see what this war is about. Okay, now some people may be on there saying, Tony, what are you talking about, right? I'm like, it's a non-physical war in the spiritual realm, right? But it is happening inside every single one of us, whether we know it or not, whether you feel it or not, whether you're conscious of it or not. It is happening, and it is affecting free will choice. Okay, and it's impacting the connection we have with the Creator. This is where it tries to attack, right? But it is, I mean, it attacks many things. I'm not just saying just the connection to the Creator, but everything, right? But I lay down to put my son to sleep, all right? And I just lay down, and it's like, when you do that self-reflection at the end of the night, and I was like, man, what can I do to improve to be a better version of me? And then I noticed the spirit of selfishness, right? And as I looked at myself, I was like, wow, I can see there are forces of selfishness in my unconscious. And I asked the Creator to show me the root of this thing, right? And to help me to weed this thing out. I prayed for that and for the spirit of selflessness. And then all of a sudden, I saw the devil. I saw the force of the self. I saw the Antichrist in my unconscious. I literally saw this mafia demon, or whatever you want to call it, sitting there, right? Calling itself God. Like, I was like, what is this thing, right? Sitting in my unconscious. And it was glorifying itself as some glorified God, right? And making itself seem as it was me. Like, its will was my will, right? Or its will was who I was. So it comes with the deception of false identification with the ego, making ego a god. So then I saw again, I was like, wait, this selfishness, this root cause, this narcissistic selfishness is the origin of this is coming from that self. It glorifies itself as God. It makes itself superior. It says it's superior to God intelligence. It doesn't need the creator. It's full of pride, arrogance, it's disrespectful, it's disgusting. All right, guys, it is and it's rebellion. It is rebellion at its root, and it is seeking to destroy. Now, there is a part in the Bible that talks about the abomination of desolation. That is it. And I realized, I was like, wait a minute, this thing is not, it is not setting up shop in here. It is not going to hang out in here. It is not going to happen. But I realized that it has been there all along. Even though I've been on the conscious journey of working on myself and my relationship with the creator, you see, when we have a mafia unconscious or an ego that is running the unconscious and you don't see that thing, it intercepts and it steals the power of the creator, number one. Number two, it makes itself a god. It exists outside of God. So its conversation is separation. Its conversation is based upon selfishness, greed, and exclusion of the divine as normal. Okay? And then I realized that I was not that thing, that we're not that ego. We are not that self that is in defiance to God or in defiance to the creator, that excludes the creator from our lives. That selfishness that takes up root in the heart and blocks the connection to the divine and who we think we are. That piece is so important. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was identifying with that thing. I thought I was, when you think you're the ego and you operate from there, when we think we're separate from the creator, then that is the root cause. That is selfishness. That's ego. That is that self, that antichrist force operating in the unconscious. It is not normal to not desire the source or creator. It's not normal to not be in companionship with the creator. It is not normal to live life without the creator. It is not normal because we are born out of the creator. We're one with the creator. We are born out of his love and his will. We're born to be his companions, right? And when we unconsciously feel that drift and we don't even desire to connect with the creator, it is not your free, it's not the free will choice. It was not my free will choice. That thing operates in the unconscious. Unless one makes the unconscious conscious, it will run you on automatic, and you will not know that you are in unconscious betrayal. And that's what I realized. I was like, oh my gosh, I was betraying the creator. I mean, seriously, without even knowing it, making ego a god. Now, this thing is layers upon layers of shadow work and depth of inner work that you need to do to be able to become aware of what's happening in the unconscious so that you can have free will choice. Okay, so the minute you do this and you make it conscious, then you can have free will choice. This is why I'm sharing this video today, because I realize that the war is all about this battle, right? Is all about the destruction and trying to seek to destroy the souls of humanity. So people forget who they are. So people make ego a god. So selfishness is made a god in the heart, and people live life without the creator. This is the abomination of desolation, where we make that thing a god. But here's the thing, a lot of people are not doing it consciously. A lot of people are not even wanting that thing, but that thing is trying to take over like it owns the place and owns your vessel. But the master of the house is not the ego. Master is not. So anything that wants to make itself superior to God is an abomination. So there is, this is a mouthful. This is a lot. I'm just like, yo, I gotta share this. This is like, what the F? I just saw that thing in there. And it's like, this thing has to go. Creator, remove it. Remove that weed, remove it out. I don't want it in there because I'm not worshiping that thing. Okay. Now there is this is why Creator calls for prayer and surrender and a humble heart to come back to Him. He wants to be with us. He wants to help, to guide us, right? But a lot of people, a lot of us need to, a lot of us aren't praying. And when we have pride in our hearts and forgetfulness and separation and all of that running from the Antichrist, and you don't even know it, that's the freaky thing about it, is that you may not even realize that thing is running you. Okay. And I'm constantly having to check myself. But when you notice it, you realize that, wow, it is not your will. It is not a conscious your will. It becomes your will if you don't know it, because then you become it. But I had to choose differently, say, that is not my will. It's not my will to separate from God, unless you choose that, right? Unless you choose that. But a lot of people are choosing unconsciously because they cannot see, they don't see that there's a force within them that is operating outside of the will of love and the union with the Creator. So, the battlefield is here, y'all. The battlefield is here. And it's intensifying because I'm really feel this is really happening. It is happening. And they're coming full force. They're coming in. And they're coming through many angles. And everyone's house is different. Everybody's shadow is different. So who is the anchor? Who is the anchor? Who can keep us anchored and guide us through this time of battle? Who do you depend on? You know what I mean? Who do you call upon when your soul is being when there is a thief in the unconscious, and there is a force of the self that you can call it devil, you can call it evil, antichrist, whatever, that is aiming to kill and destroy. Seriously, guys. And it comes to kill the connection we have with the divine and our will to live and our joy and our happiness. Or it gives the blind illusion of happiness, of success without God, a relationship without the Creator, or just a selfish life, right? We can seek the material things of this world. We can seek all things outside of ourselves. But when we leave God out, when we leave the Creator out, you know, that is the Antichrist force within the shadows of humanity, running the show and the script and the narrative and the heart. And that is painful for the soul. It is painful because the soul is designed to be the companion of the Creator and to live in harmony with His love. It's to live in the union of love. To be in separation and to identify with the ego and to be in that self, it's suffering. And it leads to depression. It leads to depression. So why am I sharing this? Again, you know, this is the time. This is the time, guys. It's going to get more. It's going to intensify some more, maybe, before it gets better. I don't know when this thing will end, but it will. And as we face these times of uncertainty, there is only one anchor. There is only one anchor, and there's only one fulfillment. The source, the Creator, is the only one. And the return back to who we are and remembrance of who we are, which is in that union and oneness with the Creator. That's who we are, one with the Beloved. And I just had that awareness today and was like, okay, we're in battle, so I have to prepare. Have to prepare, you know, we're in battle. And it's real, it's happening every day. You know, I get up in the morning and I'm feeling it, like massive war. The war is not just spiritual. I feel it in the psyche, the psychology. It's affecting the psychology and free will choice and decisions we make. There are many layers to this, guys, but I think that that's enough for today. Thank you for watching. And if you're feeling the battle within, if you're feeling this, your psychology is off, or you're feeling like more negativity in your mind, or you're feeling that your life circumstances are really tough right now, because I empathize with you. And prayer is a powerful tool, and all that I mentioned earlier. So I'd love to hear from you if you're experiencing this. I'd love to hear what you're doing to support yourself. What tools are you using to help yourself during this time? Namaste.